Why do you have to say something right when it's about to go?
We're good.
Okay, whatever. What's up, everybody? This is Blake. We are the
This is Blake and Mr. Danica here with a race preview of Homestead Motor Speedway this weekend.
Yeah, we are the Turn 2 commentators. I'm with Mr. Danica Patrick. Why do you want to go by Mr. Danica Patrick today?
I don't know. That's what the computer said. So I just logged on. That's what it was there. So I'm like, okay, cool.
Are you excited that she's calling F1 races again?
I'm indifferent. I mean, if you came home, your wife said you had liver and onions for dinner, are you excited? Or are you just like, well, it's food?
No, I'm not really getting excited about that. I'll probably just turn around and go to
McDonald's
or something.
Would you rather Danica Patrick commentating for NASCAR, or would you take Sydney Sweeney?
What?
Commentating now. It's commentating. They're in a booth.
I'd rather kind of put it on mute.
No, other alternative, Jamie Little by herself.
I'll take Danica Patrick because at least she knows what she's talking about.
So does Jamie. She has a lot of
No, she doesn't.
Secondhand knowledge.
No, she does not.
She's been around the sport since like '99.
I don't care.
And the producer in her ear is probably gonna be Mikey.
That's just a bad duo.
It's just like a mom call. It's like your mom calling a race. That's what Jamie Little. She's everyone's mom.
No, she's not for me.
She's. All right, you can go ahead. Just a reminder for everyone, I did win last week because you didn't know the meaning of whoever finishes ahead of the other person, not a DNF. Your guy was how many? Was he like 65 laps down?
30 something.
Sorry, cut it in half. But he lost. It wasn't his fault. It was just the car. He's driving around a Dollar General car. That's all. So, what are your expectations for this weekend?
Well, we're going to Homestead. Homestead,
the
Miami.
race is going to be better than this past weekend overall.
Yeah. This is like one of my top 5 favorite tracks.
Who's going to run higher, Tyler Reddick or Kyle Larson? I'm talking about on the track. Who's going to at the higher line?
Probably Larson, but
yeah,
they're going to bounce off the wall several times. So
you're saying this is a wide Darlington?
Yeah, pretty much. They should call it the Miami Stripe.
If you were a driver, would you prefer the high line, middle line, or low line? How would you attack the track if you had a fast car?
At this track? Just
at
this track?
You're in a Hendrick car. What line you take?
Probably either high or middle. Now, do I think I have the confidence to run 3 inches away from the wall? Probably not.
You're not going to run the bottom on both sides?
Nah.
I mean, if you want your tires to be 8 up.
The bottom, I mean, if you want to take the bottom, you can.
I mean, would you try to come up and block every time? You're going to cause a wreck. I feel like Larson's probably going to lead 2 stages, do really well, then bounce off the wall, blow a tire, going down pit road.
Yeah, Tyler Reddick's probably going to do the same thing.
My driver won't because he's going to be quiet. He's going to get him a nice 9th place finish. Because he's ran there, I think they said, over 20 times. His average finish is 11. Never won. He never gets a top 5. Just between 7th and 11th.
Are you picking Alex Bowman?
No, I was, but his average was a lot worse than I thought it was.
So it's a Chevy driver.
Chevy driver.
Chase Elliott?
They're a multi-winning driver. They have now. They're a threat to win multiple races, at least 4 races.
It's AJ Allmendinger.
Nope.
Not AJ Allmendinger.
Nope. This guy's a threat to win at least 4 races a year. Chances of him winning the races are slim. But you know this driver very well. He's won more recent than Kyle Busch.
Nah, whatever.
Welcome to Josh Berry, but he's not that good around there. Maybe
You
it's the
picking
car.
Ross Chastain?
No, I'm about to think Ross Chastain's gonna have a decent race. Who's your sleeper pick for this race? Not winning, but like, oh, okay, he has a top 15, top 10.
Probably maybe Todd Gilliland.
Okay. I think you see Chris Buescher sighting. I want to say driver I'm pick, but because it will be surprised, but Christopher Buescher will have a solid race time for them. You know what it is? Isn't every year, last couple of years, the Fords like they're still in the garage, they're asleep, and then they pick it up in the middle of the year, towards the end of the year.
Yeah, but the Fords have shown a lot of speed already.
Yeah, they already showed a lot of speed, but finishing results. Minus Josh Berry, but like as a whole, like last year saying this Ford, the issue is it the front nose of the Ford, and then look who dominated the second half of the year. Ford.
Yeah. Well, before we get into our picks, any NASCAR news you want to go over from this week?
Yes, I do like the Wood Brothers bringing back the livery for Jim Clark for their the green for his Indy 500 entry 60 some odd years ago.
But that's a Darlington throwback, right?
Darlington throwback?
Yeah, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta double check. No, I actually think it's this weekend.
No, there's
Or
no
it could
way
be
they would
Darlington
throw
throwback
It's probably
because
a
everyone's
Darlington
slowly
throwback.
releasing. Speaking of that, do you believe that RCR is going to have any type of throwback versus like that ugly ozone paint scheme and the camo 3 car?
No, probably not.
They is Good Wrench a company out there?
No, I don't think so.
So Good Wrench is like sees no more anything in the world that had LLC Good Wrench.
I think it's gone.
So is it against the law to have an older sponsor that's not around?
Yeah, probably.
I mean, you can. Is Folgers still a company? You can have Folgers. Get back in
Yeah,
NASCAR.
Folgers is still a company.
But we don't have a 25 out there. You can't do that up to 24. There was another thing. I saw that Austin Dillon and what's his face, Chase Briscoe, since they're both sponsored by Bass Pro Shops. Chase Briscoe would do all of the camping and outdoorsy schemes, and Austin Dillon's going to do the other, all the fishing and hunting. That's how they're spreading up the paint schemes, if you haven't noticed.
So, just to answer your question, Goodwrench is no longer a brand. It was phased out in 2011.
Where did they go to? Who bought it? Who changed it?
General Motors decided to drop the Goodwrench branding for its service operations in the United States on February 1st, 2011. Reason for the change? GM wanted to focus its marketing efforts on specific brands rather than a generic service brand. Instead of Goodwrench, GM implemented new certified service programs tied to each brand. So they just got rid of it.
They can at least have a throwback. Is there any company that's similar to Goodwrench? Nah. If you do a throwback to that, you gotta do it. Is there any Dells in your car they can throw back to? For
Wrangler.
No, but the other guy's doing it.
Yeah, but he don't have the actual sponsor, Wrangler.
Who's sponsored by Wrangler?
I bet you RCR's still tied to them somehow.
I mean, can they run? What about Budweiser? For Cowboys, Budweiser 8.
I mean, that'd be cool.
It'd be kind of weird. Would you be conflicted? Like,
yeah,
you'd think Cowboys would get a lot of cheers, but then they'll stop because they realize it's not Dale Jr.
They get confused.
You're like, oh, no, we don't mean. Have you noticed the cheers going up or down for Cowboys since it's been at RCR? Because it just doesn't seem like it seems like it's Jeff Gordon at Penske.
The cheers go up. He still gets booed.
Are they cheering the car and the team, or
I think they're
him.
cheering him. But it's weird. It's very weird because when he won the truck race, like he was getting cheered, but when he got announced driver intros, he got booed. So I don't know.
Honestly, I feel like the Kyle Busch haters are the LeBron haters. Like, let's say next year LeBron just is averaging like 14 points and shooting 38% from the field. It's like, yeah, we told you he wasn't that good. After all these years, you say I'm not good. You got tired of me winning all these races. That's why I always get upset when someone says Kyle Larson's better. Right now, right? Equal car. Who is better, Kyle Larson or Kyle Busch in an equal car?
I'll still take Kyle Busch.
Kyle Busch in a 48.
Oh,
If
that's
Kyle
a
Busch
threat
is in
every weekend.
If Kyle Busch is in the 48, how do you rank Hendrick Motorsports going into next year? Ranking him by, like, not by number one driver, but threat to win each week.
I'd say he's the top 2 chance of winning every week.
Who's number one? How are you ranking them from? You had to bet your mortgage on each one to win the race. Mile and a half.
Larson and Busch. But no, just hear me out though, because they're gonna put all their eggs on Kyle Larson.
I don't think Kyle Larson's the number one driver at Hendrick.
What do you think is William Byron?
I think William Byron is the best, most consistent Hendrick Motorsports driver, meaning he's going to win his races, but he's not going to crash. He's always going to be in the top 5, top 10. Kyle Larson is a money dog, but he's either win or something happens where it's a team penalty or he wrecks and he finishes back.
I guess that's why William Byron's still in the points lead.
And Chase Elliott is the I will always get a top 10. I'm a threat to win some of these races if I'm on point. Alex Bowman is a guy like, oh, okay. All right. Well, I didn't even expect that. He's like the ranch. Oh, okay.
Any other news from this week?
Yes, the Fox NASCAR director is stepping down.
How do you feel about that? Is that a good move?
You're the biggest antagonist as far as it comes to Fox.
I just hope they get somebody in there that, cares.
You complain more about Fox broadcast than people complain at 285 traffic.
Yeah, because I want to see the product. I want to see the product. I don't know. They're not trying. I want to see the product on the track. I don't care about the little kid picking his nose on lap 57. I don't care.
Is life perfect?
No.
You got to enjoy what you get.
But it's entertainment, so it's got to be damn near perfect.
You got to be You got to be satisfied with what you get. They're trying.
They're not trying their hardest.
They're trying. What if NASCAR is on tape?
Look, I saw one thing. They've done one IndyCar race. Fox has. The little cartoon anime characters we get for NASCAR.
Yeah,
IndyCar people
I like that.
Well, IndyCar, I don't like that. IndyCar, they did it for IndyCar. They did it for IndyCar. They got all the complaints and they changed it. So the next race, they're actually going to have real pictures of the drivers.
Don't you play Apex? Don't you play game? I mean, it's the same thing. Or you don't like it for NASCAR? You want to like it the Braves get introduced with little anime characters?
It is a sports entertainment. Don't gear it toward little kids.
You got to gear it to little kids. So how do you start the next generation?
It wasn't when we were growing up. It wasn't geared toward us.
We didn't have the technology for that. Now they do.
No, they don't. They don't need to do all that.
As a little kid, I remember my grandma said, you either want to be a hoodlum on the street or you want to be like Jeff Gordon. And I always remember that rainbow car. If they had a little anime character, I would have been involved with that.
Look, back when we were growing up, first of all, what happened to all the beer sponsors and the cigarettes and the dip and tobacco? I mean, where are those?
You're gearing towards kids.
No, the same. No, this is a grown man sport with cars going 200 miles an hour.
There were some fans out there like Roger Braswell. If he was growing up in like late 90s with the dip and all that, that was made for that guy. But in this generation, if you got to go, you're branching out.
And he's a Joey Logano fan, if that tells you
That doesn't
anything.
even match him.
I don't know
Like, if
why
you
he
saw me
chose
walking down
him.
the street, I would not think Joey Logano. I would think Ryan Priest.
We should have him on here to get, like, he's not like a true fan of NASCAR. Like, he likes NASCAR, but he ain't watching every weekend like we are.
I mean, he watches as long as Joey Logano wins. He's gonna let you know he won. He's like that guy Rodney Dollar out there
Nah,
when
he
he
ain't
picks
gonna.
and chooses his driver.
He didn't. When we went to the Atlanta race, I was like, you're wearing your Joey Logano hat. He's like, yeah. I was like, he won the championship last year. He's like, oh, for real? I was like, you didn't know that?
He knew he was just playing along.
No, he did not know that.
You know what would be nice for us to do the podcast at? It should be at the pool hall in Dawsonville, Georgia, so we
No,
can ring that siren.
no, I'm not going there.
You don't want to?
I'm not stepping foot in there.
Why not? A good wholesome piece of people where you can get a nice tuna melt and sweet tea.
I want to see what their service rating is on that.
Hey, look, every time I pass, there's like 1.5 cars out there. I think it's the people working there.
Chase Elliott doesn't even go there.
I don't think he's been there. I think his dad took him one time in like '98.
He had to go there those couple years ago. Fox made him do that interview there.
I think Clint Boyer went there. I think he left. You ever heard Clint Boyer talk about that place food? Everywhere he goes, he talks about food. Never talked about there. They probably had garlic powder for the season. That's it.
One other news thing that dropped, and it was just NASCAR being NASCAR. We like to guess make the rules up as you go.
The Christopher Bell rule?
Yeah, the Christopher Bell rule. Last week, Christopher Bell had a heads-up play, heads-up moment, had a loose wheel going down pit road, parked it in the 19, his teammates' pit box, and they tightened it up for him. Well, now you can't do that no more.
I honestly think like F1 and the NFL, look at the Tuck rule, look at the regulation votes for F1 at the end of the year. The teams, the ownership, whatever compartment of the team vote on whether or not they want said rule. If all is in agreement or majority rules, they take it out. It shouldn't just be NASCAR. Like I was commenting on someone's video the other day. With all the changes and whatnot that goes on the track, who are the unsung heroes of the NASCAR weekend?
Sorry, I'm just reading something. We'll get to that. We'll get to this next in just a second. So here's their statement. This is what I was looking up, but I saw something else. And if a vehicle receives service in another team's pit stop to correct a safety issue, the vehicle will receive a flag status penalty. Restart tail of the field or pass through. For the vehicle
you get to choose?
I don't know. It's probably NASCAR chooses. For the vehicle pitting outside of the assigned pit box, some examples of a safety issue: tightening loose wheel nuts, remove a fuel can, remove a wedge wrench, remove the jack from under the vehicle. If a vehicle receives service in another team's pit stop for competition adjustments, the vehicle may receive lap penalties.
F1 in of itself is like NASCAR by itself, but they're rule-wise are controlled by the FIA, who is the quote-unquote, like a better word, ruler of multiple racing series. Do you think it needs to be a separate rules committee for NASCAR governing all-star car?
Like a FIA?
Like a FIA. NASCAR can still run NASCAR, but a separate, like a non-involved partner, like a third-party advocate.
I think so, just to keep the calls down the middle. I mean,
yeah, that way NASCAR can submit. Like you said, NASCAR has a quote unquote drivers union, but it's not really there because who chooses the tracks? What drivers have an input on any track selection? The people are actually out there,
right?
What about the rules, the tires?
Like Kyle Busch said last week in his interview, NASCAR has all these suit and ties making decisions. What about some guys in some fire suits that can put their opinion with these decisions?
Just like in NFL, like not even the players union, inside the NFL office, they have the rules committee. They have a lot of people who played the game or is heavily involved in the
Right.
game to implement that. Because, like, for example, when they say you can't rough the passer, a lot of people in there are people who used to rush the passer. So you can't. You think a 385-pound man can stop on a dime? You gotta have people in there that do it.
Right. Like, I mean, I guess we always go back to this guy, but put Junior in there. I mean, he's like one of the biggest voices for NASCAR right now, and he doesn't even drive.
Who's the
Put
most
him in
popular
there.
person in NASCAR? Just when you're alien, you come down. Currently alive, who was the number one driving force for NASCAR? When you hear that name, you haven't seen you to see that name.
It's Dale Earnhardt Jr., man. Put him in there. Put Jeff Burton, Mark Martin, Rusty Wallace. These guys that, you
It's a lot
know,
high pitched in that room.
yeah. But
And put Ward Burton in there too to spice it up.
put guys in there that know what the drivers want, that know what fans want, that know what teams want. I
There's
mean,
another guy you should name too. Not Rusty Wallace, but Kenny Wallace.
yeah, I think he'd be a really good one. I don't know. I mean, just
I want to know what
I
they're thinking. I want to know what their team's meeting is like in NASCAR. What can we do this weekend? Who's driving it?
yeah,
First of all, like I always said, they need to get the old heads out of the marketing department for NASCAR and get younger because I mean, it's stale. The marketing of NASCAR is bad. The marketing of NASCAR is the same as like marketing of a new highway being built.
right.
Who is it?
Like
What are they doing?
whoever does the IndyCar marketing is doing a fantastic job because anytime I'm watching Fox, all I see is IndyCar commercials. Like leading up to the IndyCar race, all you saw was that. You don't see hardly any NASCAR commercials.
No, I mean, well, there is one NASCAR commercial technically. It's the Cletus McFarland commercial when DW gonna boogity boogity boogity. That's my favorite commercial right
You know
now.
what's crazy is I still have yet to see that commercial.
I see it on YouTube. I see it if I'm watching like a highlight of an NBA. It was Cletus McFarland sliding in on his Crown Vic.
That's funny.
You like racing? You like hard racing? Well, come on down to the Freedom Factory. Boogity boogity boogity.
I don't know. They're $1 billion company. What are we doing?
I think the Boar's Nest gets more marketing love than NASCAR does.
That's a
The
fictional
Boar's,
place.
I mean, come on, it's bad. I mean, Quick Trip gets more love than NASCAR.
Well, I guess leading into Homestead, there is one driver who is going for I guess you could call it the sweep. He's in all 3 races.
That's not the most important thing right now. The most important thing besides that is can Josh Berry go back to back? I think that's more important because
Actually,
ain't no
I
way
just
Kyle Larson doing 3.
pause, timeout. I just completely skipped over what I saw on X when I was looking that up. The next thing, the big news is, are they going to get this race in?
Yeah, they're gonna get the race in. I mean, the race during COVID, so a little brush fire outside the track ain't gonna stop them.
Well, from what I just read, I'll read it to you. This is from, let's see. This is from 48 minutes ago. Several fires are burning still less than 3 miles of the Homestead racetrack. Really hoping this ends sometime soon.
Dana White had the fight going on in LA. Just call Dana White, he'll get it done. Dana White should run NASCAR. Just saying that.
All the people are like, if this fire isn't contained tomorrow, the race has to be postponed.
You know, no, look, they're postponing to Monday, and then on Monday it's rainy, so they gotta move to what's the race after Homestead?
Ooh, I'm looking. Martinsville. We got an East Coast swing.
Okay. East Coast swing. They should use an East Coast swing to end the year instead of having all the teams go to Timbuktu, go over Texas, and then come back. That's neither here nor there. Thought they were a family sport.
Kansas lost.
They did?
Arkansas beat them.
Well, I mean, okay. One of the brackets I did have because John Calipari brought a lot of people over to Arkansas, and Kansas has had one of its worst years in 15 years. So I did choose Arkansas to win that fight, that game. Because
Wow.
Kansas was a 7 seed. Let me guess, you chose Kansas?
Yeah, I did.
I chose Kentucky because, not Kentucky, but that's a tough part of the bracket because Arkansas has a chance to face UConn and St. John's. So that's a tough bracket with coaches. Don't worry, St. John's going to win it all. Bring it home. You going to be room for Auburn to win the championship?
What in the world?
Wait a minute, hold on. You're a Georgia fan, so who do you have winning the college basketball tournament? And who did you choose to win today, but they lost?
Oh, did they? I mean, I don't keep up with it. So they did. Did they lose?
No. So what team do you have winning the championship?
Alabama.
But what team? Other team was in the tournament before the games commenced. So you chose Auburn to go farther
than Georgia.
Auburn,
yes.
I'm going to go
Hey,
farther than Georgia.
this ain't a football. This ain't a football tournament. This is a basketball tournament.
So at work, you're rooting for Auburn.
Not really.
To win money.
I mean, yeah, cool, but this basketball doesn't really count.
So you want the school of Auburn to have more success this postseason than the school of Georgia as a whole? Because it's a school. It ain't a private sports.
It's a basketball. I don't keep up with the basketball. I'm just doing a work competition.
It's still the school. You know, sometimes
I don't care. Like that's like when you say, "Are you going to pick Kyle Busch this week?" Well, I'm betting against you, so probably not.
You're going against the school. Whenever I bring up Auburn against Georgia,
I am. Yes, is that what you want me to say?
You don't like anything attached to it. You don't like anything attached to it. You just say, I don't like the football program. You say,
there's like 500. There's like $500 on the line. Yeah, I'm gonna bet whatever. I'm betting a win. I'm not betting with my heart.
So
if I was to do that, I wouldn't win at all.
If it came down to you and another coworker, and you needed Auburn to win, are you rooting for Auburn to win? Like, I need Auburn.
Well, I don't have Auburn winning the whole thing.
Let me ask you: are you going to be wearing any Georgia gear, rooting for Auburn to win the championship, or Alabama? So you're on camera rooting.
I'm not rooting. I'm probably not even going to watch the game.
So you're going to be wearing gear, excited that you won a game because Auburn won or Alabama won. You're going to be excited. So all that money. Let
me ask you this.
Hold on, real quick. Let's say you win. Like you said, you ain't going to be watching the game. You're just doing it for the money reason. I just want you to know that all that money that you could possibly win is Auburn and Alabama money.
That's fine. Whatever.
So when I say that Auburn's going to beat you next year, the school, we don't say
no.
Hold on.
Quit getting technical.
Do you ever say that, man, Georgia football can beat Florida football? You say Georgia, meaning encompassing the entirety of the school. Do you think it's some Georgia sports athletes that are not playing football at the stadium, at Sanford Stadium? Or do you think it's all football fans? You don't think no college basketball athletes there? You don't think they share the gymnasium?
I don't watch college basketball. I'm not sitting there staying up.
You sound like Rodney Dollar. He wakes up in Chase Elliott underwear, but room for Kyle Larson.
Look, I got an invite to join a bracket challenge. I bought in. I'm competitive.
You ain't
a
true Georgia fan. You ain't a true Georgia fan.
Why would I choose? Well, I did choose Georgia for an upset, but why would I choose them to win the whole thing when I know they're not good?
So if I got your daughter, Oakley K. Hester, I got her Alabama softball onesie. Would you let her wear it? It's not football. You want to talk about football? You think,
oh my God! Why you got to get technical?
It's Alabama softball. It's that softball.
Okay, just what? Stop.
Can't get mad at that.
Stop.
It'd be different if I got Alabama football. Alabama's badminton team.
Whatever.
Who are you choosing for this weekend? In the trucks. I was waiting for you to say his name. Oh, go ahead and say his name.
Corey Haim.
Or your butt buddy.
No, I think Corey Haim he probably has. I mean, he has the best car out there, truck, whatever.
I'm going to take. I'm going to take a Chevy to win. I just don't know who. Who you think for Xfinity?
Xfinity. Let me see. I want to see if there's anybody in it. Like,
I'm taking Carson Quaffle.
he is due. Why can't I see the entry list all of a sudden?
Your Alabama internet messing up or something?
Alabama internet.
I mean, you're a big Alabama fan, apparently.
Oh my god. Here we go. Entry list. Let's see. In the Xfinity race. Kyle Larson.
I'll switch my pick. Since you went with Kyle Larson, I'm going to go with Dean Thompson. Because I believe Kyle Larson will wreck.
Is Dean Thompson in the race?
Yeah, he's a full-time driver.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He's in that same hunt car. Sorry.
No, I'm just playing. I'm going to go with Carson Quaffle.
Oh,
Who are you going for the truck? Oh, it's my turn.
For trucks?
No, for cups.
Oh, we're going straight to the cup race, huh?
Yeah, let's get this.
Okay.
I'm going with Austin Dillon.
All right, Austin Dillon.
I was wrong about 11th. His average position.
You're locking this in. I'm writing it down.
Yeah, his average finishing position, the entirety of his Cup Series career at Homestead is 12th.
Okay.
He doesn't start good whatsoever.
I'm going to go.
It's his most consistent track in his career. Go ahead and choose Ryan Blaney.
I'm not going to. Okay. I'm going to go. Dang. Dang. Okay. Is that water?
Spicy water.
I'm going to go Daniel Suarez.
Okay. Oh, did you see the interview with BJ McLeod? He was talking about the Captain Leg thing. He was saying he put the onus on him and his team, but he also put the onus on NASCAR for putting him in that position because they didn't have enough prep time. They had issues with getting her sight vision with the seat based on her height and size. So when that happened, she was in an awkward seating position. So he said she didn't really see where he was for her point of view, but he did say that he told her you can't do that. If you're in NASCAR not competing for a win or position, you can't mess up if you're just riding by yourself. And she messed up. And she tried to reach out to Suarez and apologize for it because she said you can't even do that as well. So it was accountability on both sides is good, but at the same time, NASCAR, they're quick to change a on-track thing. You can't do that. But when it comes to something else, we looked at data of the last 17 races. They're going to take their sweet time. Meanwhile, they're trying to focus on the big elephant in the room, them trying to downplay MJ and his counterparts and trying to sue them. But they're going to go up in flames. They try to do that because like some of the podcasts I listen to, just open up the books. Just give a little bit more money. Let's see what you're actually making. I mean, I know it's a private family-owned company. As someone that's, talks about a cutaway car a lot, just open up the books. We don't want all the money. Just show us what you got going on. Is it too hard?
For them, yes.
It isn't like you go into your job saying, I need to see what all of you make. That's not the same. Because drivers and the team shouldn't be quote unquote equal partners or like 49, 51%.
Yeah.
Because who brings money to NASCAR? The driver? You have no driver,
The
you have no
drivers and the
sponsorship.
teams.
Exactly. I mean, I know who kind of runs NASCAR, but where would you rank? I know we weren't alive for that, or we weren't this age at the time. Where would you rank this generation of NASCAR, how it's being ran in comparison to other generations? Would you say it's better than the last? Would you say it's better than the last 10 years? The racing wasn't good the last 10 years. I think that's why I stopped racing. I mean, watching it. This decade was the last
the
decade.
on-track product is great, but it's managing it. I mean, 10, 15 years ago was...
You would feel like NASCAR is being ran by Fox the way they run NASCAR.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of question marks, and obviously that lawsuit's not going to end anytime soon.
In your opinion, who are the top two drivers and top three drivers in the 80s? Just driving ability, just name recognition, just drivers. Who you say or the Mount Rushmore drivers in the 80s? Four, if you want.
I mean, just three that come to my mind is probably Senior, Mark Martin, Rusty Wallace.
You don't want to put DW in there?
Yeah, sure, whatever. Put DW.
That's when he won his 3 championships.
Okay, that's fine. Put him in there.
Well, no, I was saying like that because look up. I'll bring it to NBA in this. They had the 70s, but it was kind of tape delay. The 80s when Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, Michael Jordan, and Magic Johnson took over.
Scottie
It's kind of
Pippen.
like, well, no, not in the 80s, but it's kind of like Darrell Walter Dale Sr.,
Dennis Rodman.
Yeah, just names like that. Who would you say from 2020 to where we currently stand are the four?
Spud Webb.
Or the 4 top drivers in NASCAR, not just for their driving ability, just for like name recognition, like Mount Rushmore of like importance.
Right now?
Active drivers now, from 2020 to now.
Probably Kyle Busch, Denny Hamlin, Brad Kay, and Joey Logano. No, Joey Logano.
Even though on track, he's quote unquote viewed as the best.
Those are your top 4 veterans.
Yeah,
those 4 have accomplished a lot in NASCAR.
What do you say it again? Say the name.
Kyle Busch, Denny.
Kyle Busch, almost 300 wins, so we know where he stands.
Denny Hamlin.
Just basically the spokesman. Whenever he speaks, people listen. Then who's the only multi-champion this decade?
Right. Joey
Logano. And then Brad Kay is an owner driver.
Yeah.
Kyle Larson just go on the track.
You have 2 owner drivers, and I think those 4 are your big. When they speak, I feel like a lot of people listen.
Now, fast forward to 2035. Based on who's in the field, Xfinity Series, and now, it could be someone else. Who you think the world plays those for? This is the year 2035.
So that'd be 10 years. Well, I gotta see.
Still be racing in 10 years?
Nah. You'd probably have. Kyle Larson would be 42, so he might be.
He'd be 42.
He'd be 42 in 10 years, so he's either going to be done or at the very end of his career. Probably William Byron would probably be up there.
I think his mentor, Jeff Gordon.
Yeah. Who'd be another one? Maybe Ryan Blaney.
Would you put Ty Gibbs in there if he turns it around, because he's technically an owner right now?
Yeah, I mean, if he turns it around and starts popping off wins and championships in 10 years.
I'm not going to say anything, but who takes over Joe Gibbs from racing?
I don't know.
Does it have to be a Gibbs?
Well, he still has a daughter, which is...
yeah, well, I'm saying, like, for a family owned, like, will it have to be the surname? Would it have to be the name? It can't be like
Well, I
And
mean,
it's Bell running Joe Gibbs
what
Racing.
happens when Rick Hendrick moves on? Is it
And
going to
Jeff
be
Gordon.
Jeff Gordon Motorsports?
No, but I mean, I think that's different.
Exactly. No, it's
I
not.
think no. I'm saying because we knew technically who was going to run NASCAR. I mean, run HMS. Let's see how that just fit together. It was going to be a Hendrick, but Gibbs is different because um, what was Rick Hendrick's son's name?
JD. Oh no, I'm
J
sorry, Ricky.
Ricky. He
JD Gibbs is Joe
like
Gibbs.
who was Kyle Petty's son? Adam Petty. Ty Gibbs is alive, so I think that's the first time in a while NASCAR has it. And I'm gonna go back to that. Didn't Dale Jr. try to step up for Junior Motor? Not Junior Motor, DAI. If Teresa was nice, do you think he would have had more control over DEI back then?
Probably, but I feel like that was just a dying brand.
Because you know who could have run it? Who was related to Dale Jr. and who helped him with his team?
His sister.
She could have ran it.
Yeah,
How many?
she probably would have, and it probably would have been good, but obviously she didn't want no part of them. So,
Well, the time when Carrie was on the download and he was talking about how Junior and his sister really didn't like Teresa when he first met him.
yeah,
I feel like that really altered NASCAR, and fans say the sport kind of died after there. What do you think NASCAR can learn now from 2001? Because that was a pivotal change in your most popular beloved driver died. And
you need
NASCAR
that.
from like
You don't have that. You don't have that driver. You don't have that bigger than that brand itself driver.
is speaking of that, is there any moment in with any of these drivers in the Cup Series now that they can have to match somewhat to what Dale Jr. did when he won a Daytona race when they went back? Is there a magic moment that can happen this year? Because Denny Hamlin winning championship is not going to be a magic moment. Like, oh, he
I was
finally
gonna
got
say
one.
the only one that comes to mind is maybe who they
Josberry winning
claim
championship.
that, or who they claim to be the most popular driver, Chase Elliott, like starting to win everything.
And if he won a championship, let's say he won 7 races this year, won a championship, you're like, oh, okay. But it's no moment to where it's no memorable moment that can happen.
Right. I mean,
it would be the car versus the driver.
yeah.
So I mean, can we blame NASCAR themselves, like who run it, or can we? It's no one coming up right now. Is there like a driver that can like how they talk about the face of NBA? Is there a NASCAR driver that's like out that should be the face of NASCAR? Forget Chase Elliott. Who should be the face of NASCAR now? Like the up and coming.
I think he has all the talent, and it's got to be. He's
Like
got
who's
the
the most
talent.
relatable?
Maybe, I don't know. See, that's a hard question. I mean, because none of these guys are really relatable to us.
Because you look at the NBA, they try to get
I mean,
Anthony Edwards
maybe
because he's from
the
America.
the two guys I think about that, as you would say, got it from the mud, is Ross Chastain and Josh Berry.
What does a typical NASCAR fan look like now in 2025?
Like me.
So, like a spot, typical NASCAR fan looks like a spotter.
Yeah.
Is that why they gave Freddie Kraft the show?
Probably.
Because basically, someone says Freddie Kraft and Friends.
I like that. They should just rename it.
You think gonna have what's his name as a guest? Brett as a guest?
That'd be hilarious. They should do that. They should totally do that and have TJ on there. Just bring him back like an old school show.
We'll have TJ run the show.
Oh God,
for one episode. I mean, I think that's what NASCAR is. They just need someone to step up. If you ask me, the up and coming, I mean, you can take William Byron, but that's like saying, and I'm saying boring. It should be Ryan Blaney. He should be the face of NASCAR. He's young. He's a champion. Women like him. Like that's like popular opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, he drives for a top team. I mean, he has everything. He's consistent. Who else would be? Yeah, I think he would take that mantle. Carson Hocevar, he looks awkward. He looks like an off-brand version of George Russell, so he can't be the face of NASCAR.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, yeah. I mean, Ryan Blaney's a good pick.
I mean, the most fanciest is SVG, but he's quiet and he happens to be tall and he's not from here, and he has a different driving style. Even though, like, when they show the foot camera, it's just like what they did in the 80s.
Well,
you saw Ricky Rudd going around on Sears Point using both feet. But I don't know. That's what NASCAR needs to address. I mean, this is a new generation of driver. What happens when you're 45? What do you think NASCAR is going to look like? You're going to be like those people I haven't watched since the summer of '88.
Nah, I'll probably still always watch.
I'm trying to figure out who you're going to root for in 30 years.
Probably Braxton Bush.
Yeah, I can see you're on the couch right now drinking your Coors Light, yeah, and just like your daddy. Whining and complaining, but always winning.
Well, you got anything else?
I know I chose what's the face of winner do good, but I hope Jasper goes back to back because I think he's going to finish higher than Chris Bell in the playoff standings.
All right, well, let's see it. I mean, if it happens, I love it for Josh Berry.
I mean, if you're Austin Cindric, you have to feel some type of way if that.
For sure.
Wait a minute. Who has more wins since Austin Cindric has been in the race? That 21 car Austin Cindric.
That 21 car.
And that car was part-time for.
Yeah.
Real quick, where would you rank the 2-car seat as far as all Cup seats? They all became empty. Where would you, forget him, like, where would you put that 2-car? Who would have dropped before him?
Rusty Wallace
and Brad K. What do they all have in common? They all have a championship.
Yeah.
Do you see Austin Cindric win the championship in the next 4 years? No. Or is he just going to be Lance Stroll, occasional top 5, top 10?
And he has like an incredible run the whole race, and then something happens.
Or lucks in a rain short delay. You know, of all the fans talking about Bubba Wallace and he's not good, they should point all of that to Austin Cindric.
Doesn't Austin Cindric only have one win? I mean, I know it's a Daytona 500, but or does he have 2 wins? Oh, he has that random, what was it, Gateway?
You know what it is? You know who Austin Cindric is? He is early Bubba Wallace. When Bubba Wallace got in the 43 car, his first race, he finished second in Daytona 500. Then he's struggling, he rags, or he's just lagging back. He is early Bubba Wallace. And Bubba Wallace now is Kyle Busch in the 8 car. So maybe the ceiling is for Austin Cindric is Kyle Busch in the 8 car. I'm a threat to win races, but I'm going to mess it up, or my team's going to mess it up.
All right, well, that's all I got for tonight. This will be out on YouTube again. It looked like y'all kind of enjoyed that better than listening, so we'll keep doing that. Yeah, like it, share it, subscribe on the YouTube.
Like, comment, subscribe.
If you don't have the YouTube, listen to it on Spotify. It'll be on there. And hope y'all enjoy the races this week. And you'll hear from us either Sunday or Monday.
Shout out to Garrett Smithley and Nick Sanchez.
Dang, you just had to bring Garrett Smithley out.
He's a consistent guy. He gonna get a top 30 finish.
All right, whatever. I guess he's working on getting Garrett Smithley on the show, so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, we got to compete with Eric Eastep and what's his name? Tandem Pool, Brendan Pool, Table Pool. I'm a better driver than he is. I don't care what you say. I challenge Brendan Poole right now.
Is he even, just real quick before we get off, is he even still driving, or is he just?
I don't know. I think he ran out of his seat.
Well,
no, not that he drives. He gets the top 35 finish.
Okay. Well, that's good for him. But we'll catch you on the next one. Later.